The truth is, I was the problem. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ethan. So I'm gonna acknowledge, first of all, that your boy's feeling under the weather a little bit. I'm not feeling the best. I'm pretty sick right now. So just kind of doing what I gotta do still, and no excuses. Still gotta make the content and all. I usually make my videos further in the week. I'm making these videos pretty early in the week. I got so much stuff going on this upcoming week. I really have a busy week. So I'm just gonna hit record and do what I gotta do. I'm actually really excited to make this video because it took me a minute to realize this, right? Like, to all the people that maybe don't, know me really well, like on a personal level, like the people that have been following me and stuff. I'm 23, so I'm a young guy, young king, Jordan year and all. But anyways, though, one thing though is I recently finally learned what accountability was, right? Like, I would say that it's better late than never. I would say for a while, I will admit that I was using like these certain type of things to act a certain way or make it seem like it's validated in a type of way. But the reason is, and the truth is that it was bull. And I realized that pretty recently, right? Like I was just talking to my brother about it earlier today that we're young guys now, right? So like everything that happens to us now is on us. Yeah, we could sit around, blaming people, all those things, and it's just BS, man. Like, and I didn't even realize like I'm almost like disappointed in myself in the type of way I used to think that way. But now moving forward, man, everything is on me. Like I take full accountability for everything I've done. I take full accountability for the mistakes I've made. I take full accountability for all the I've made in my life. And so far, I'm moving forward. I'm learning from those mistakes, and I'm making sure that I never repeat those mistakes again. Back then when I was younger, like when I was a younger guy, I used to kind of like, try not to make the mistakes of other people. But then it just came to a point where, I just had to make my own, right? And that's been the turning point for me, right? And that's even been kind of like something like with this content that I've been making is it's like, I have full, ownership of how I move in my life. Yeah, I got a bad stack of cards thrown at me, right? But that doesn't mean that I can't change. That doesn't mean that I can't change my behaviors, that I could change my habits, I can change my attitude, like I can change my life. Like I have full power of that. And since then, since I've known that and I understood it, it's been the game changer for me, right? Like no playing victim, nobody's coming to save you. Like you got to do it all on your own. So that's been a really big turning point for me in my early 20s for me is realizing that, like moving forward, man, the only person I got is myself, like that's the one that's got my back, you know what I mean? So I got to watch how I move. I got to watch how I think. I got to watch the decisions I make. And yeah, by all means, I'm not perfect. So I'm going to probably make some mistakes along the way. But as long as I don't repeat those mistakes again and I just keep learning and I just keep improving and keep getting better and better, as the time goes by, I'll keep improving, I'm not aiming for perfection because there's no such thing as it, right? I mean, if I am trying to chase perfection, I'm going to chase something that I'll never achieve, you know what I mean? But I will chase improvement though. I will chase that. As long as I can be better than the guy that I previously was, that's a win for me. You know what I mean? I even can't wait for like the next like couple years, just to enjoy the process and see how much of a, how much of a better guy I'm going to become, how much of a better person I'm going to become, and kind of doing all the hard things, kind of like, calling myself out, acknowledging the things I don't want to acknowledge about myself. But that makes me, grow, and that makes me get better. You know what I mean? So that's really all I kind of got. Since I've learned what accountability is, it's been a game changer for me. And at least that I'm learning it now. Like I give myself some grace that I'm learning it now. I mean, at least I'm not like in my 30s finally learning what accountability is. At least I'm learning it now in my early 20s. So then I know that everything that happens to me is my fault and it's on me. You know what I mean? And I'm in control of how I act, how I move, how I behave, how I think. So that gives me a lot of clarity for sure. But I'm just gonna keep improving day by day. As long as I was better than I was yesterday, that's a win, and I take full accountability for everything I do and everything I've done.